Hello and welcome back. So it's been a good few weeks since I last did a video, and that's just because, again, I've been busy, and I think I said the last time I had to take a couple of weeks break. If anything's going to give, it is going to be these videos while I'm busy. So what have I been doing? I've been cracking on with this painting that we started. Christ, we started this a month ago now. I'll talk through that in a second, but I just wanted to tell you what I've been up to elsewhere. So the last video I did, I was out filming in the Lake District, and that was for a video assignment for my MA, and I submitted a draft of that 2 weeks ago now, and then I've obviously kept on working on it, and it comes in two parts, that assignment. There's a video, which is about 5.5 minutes, I think, my video, and then we have to do a portfolio on the end of it, which is like research and criticality and stuff like that. So that's the bit I've been working on since then. And I've thought about showing you the draft, but it's not, I want to change some parts of it, so I'm not going to show you it yet. I'll show you the final one, and that is going to be about 5.5 minutes long. The length isn't going to change. I'm just going to change some clips in it that I didn't quite get what I wanted the last time I went filming. I really wanted to be able to get some clips of rain in the Lake District to add into it. But it hadn't rained here for about 2 months until this weekend, and it's rained a little bit. Not tons, just a little bit. So hopefully one evening this week I'll be able to shoot up to the lakes, get a bit of footage and add it in, and then that'll be the actual video finished, and then I'll just need to finish the portfolio. So like I said, I'm not going to tell you too much about the video just yet. I'm not going to show you what's in it. But I will give you, if you look on my Instagram or on my TikTok at Rachel J Harvey Art, you will see clips of similar sorts of footage to what will appear in the video. Some of it is in fact the same footage that will appear in the video, but it's not how it will necessarily look in the final one. So I've been experimenting with sound. Listening is a key theme throughout my video, and the idea of who gets to decide what nature sounds like, I think, and that's based on the idea of looking at a lot of place-based artists, so place-based artists like land art, like Andy Goldsworthy, for example, a land artist, and sound artists like Susanna, is it Susanna or Suzanne? I'll write it in the description. Suzanne Philipsz, a sound artist, and looking at how they take what basically sort of exploring the idea of those two subjects. And there's also, it links back to previous work that's based in the Lake District, and this idea of who gets to decide what the uplands look like, and wool farming in the Lake District, and who gets to decide what the fells should look like. And it's a bit playful. There is a sort of I do have a bit of a joke in the film. There's no talking in it, but anyway. So I've been the big focus has been around sort of sound and visuals, and things like that. So if you look on my Instagram or on my TikTok, you'll see there's loads of clips. They're about 10 seconds long, and it's just looking at sound, looking at sound. It's looking at a thing and listening to that thing. So there's a lot of running water. There's a lot of underneath the water. couple of bits of like grass waving, and I've asked people to respond to that. Let me know how some of those scenes make them feel. Some people have said like, some people really like people seem to really like the overwater sounds and scenes, and then some people find the underwater stuff a bit more panicky. People that really like the grass blowing in the wind, and there's other people that really don't like the grass blowing in the wind and they feel like it's going to touch their face and stuff like that. So it's I'm sort of examining sensory things as well in it. And this idea that these are all spaces that I feel comfortable in and sort of in control in, but for other people these are completely strange experiences. And also what do those situations sound like, and how do people respond to those sounds? So as I've said this, I've had the thought to pop these clips in as I'm talking, so maybe I'll do that, and if I have, then you'll have seen it happen. So anyway, okay, so that's where the video's going. I've really found that I've quite enjoyed working with the idea of sound and looking at what makes a sound, like in terms of nature sounds and what things sound like. So I might keep exploring that idea. I've really enjoyed doing it. Okay, so now let's look at this painting. It's propped up onto two little tubs at the moment, not because this doesn't move, but just because I needed to be able to get to the bottom here, and I just needed something to lift this up a bit, so that's why it's propped up a bit weird. But anyway, I did sort of get to a point when I thought this was nearly done, and it is nearly done. It's not far off at all. I've been working on this for a while. There's a lot of layers to it. If I bring you in closer, in fact, I don't know, hopefully you can see the texture in the clouds. There's a lot of layers in the clouds, in the sky. I worked on the sky for a very long time, trying to get it right. And I'll be honest, this part I'm fairly happy with. This bit up here, this bit I might just go a little bit more into today, not too much. There's a few little patches I'm not 100% happy with. And this yellow side, again, it's okay. I'm just going to try and tidy it up a little bit. I think it's a bit messy. The mountain, I didn't get too caught up on this, but I wasn't 100% happy. The green I did much faster than this hill is in Aberystwyth, and I think actually looking at it from, because I've never been here, from the reference photo I have, it looks like one solid hill. But when I looked on Google Earth, or Google Maps, whatever it is, it looks like this might actually be quite a long, not cliff face, but quite a long face, and it's eroded. I think is actually what's happening in here. Well, it's obviously eroded, but I think it's like, rather than it being a big hill, I think it's like that's actually quite a long view in reality. But on my reference picture, it looks like a hill, sloping downwards. So I've tried to mimic that sort of look of erosion, and I'm quite happy with this side. I think it's turned out okay. And then the trees down here, quite happy with this. Need to add a little bit more detail. There's a little building down here. The person who's commissioned the painting, her family is just in the picture, just about. It's just in tiny little dots here. So I've made sure to include them. Happy with the beach, actually. I thought the beach was going to take me a really long time, and it didn't take me too long at all. And I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out. The sea, I've done with palette knives and quite thick paints as the first layer. I've just sort of went in with really thick layer. I know it needs to be white up here, I want a few more waves here. And I'm just going to go in and add some dark, add a bit more dark, add a bit more shape to it, because it's very linear, and it needs to be much more wavy, rather than it looks like a straight line. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do next with that, and then it'll be done. Well, I'll varnish it and then it'll be done. But anyway, so that's that commission. I've got a couple of little drawings I've been doing when I've gone to art club, which is my local village art club. I don't know if I ever showed you this one. This is of a building in Edinburgh, and yeah, I've not gone too far into that one. I'm going to keep that one pretty simple, but that's that one. I've started one of a photograph I took of a milk farm in Coldbeck, which just sort of chipping away at that one over time. And then I tried to draw water, actually. That's better than I remember it being. So I drew some, yeah, I took a photograph of a water surface, and then I thought I'll give drawing that a go. So it's the first time I've ever drawn water, and I'm actually quite happy with how that's turned out. I'm going to keep practicing. With that. I started it with a base of graphite and then rubbed out bits, and then went in darker with other bits as well, which I think is probably the best way to do it. But I think maybe I went in too dark with some bits too soon, and it just needs softening up a bit perhaps. So that's it. Like I say, it's pretty busy with this going on, with MA work going on, as well as just the course material, and then working. Getting ready to go to Venice in a couple of weeks. That'll be amazing. And as you know, so that's all, it's a self-funded residency. So if you're interested in supporting that in any way, shape or form, if you go to our Ko-fi page, there's a link in the description. I've got a pay what you feel offer on my photography and art prints until the 1st of August. And then I'm going to have to close it because I can't keep it open forever. I might then do another offer in a couple of weeks or a week or two. I'll let you know. If I do that. But yeah, offer, pay what you feel. There's a minimum charge that I charge just to cover the cost of the printing, and the envelope and the paper. But anyway, yeah, if you can support, that's what all funds are going towards at the moment. They're going towards Venice Venice residency. And when I'm there, I'll obviously film as much of that as possible and let you all know how that goes. So that's it for this week. I'll try and do a video next week. I can't promise anything. I've got a very busy week coming up. But at the very least, I'll try and keep these every fortnightly from this point, at the very least. And hopefully get back to weekly soon. Anyway, have a lovely week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.